Hi, and thanks for joining us for this exclusive first look at one of the most groundbreaking performance models to arrive in Australia and New Zealand. What else could we be talking about than the all-new Mercedes-AMG C63S e-Performance? When the first C63 model went on sale back in 2008, it quickly became an icon for AMG fans. There's just something absolutely irresistible about the combo of a luxurious, family-friendly sedan with a feisty engine and a suite of performance features. Now, Mercedes-AMG is setting the pace again with a radical rethink that's changing the very notion of what a performance car can be. We've got a lot to cover, including the one thing everybody's talking about: what's under the bonnet. We'll even give you a taste of what it's like to drive, and you don't want to miss that. We'll also tell you how to book into the Mercedes-Benz digital showroom for a personal one-on-one with the C63S e-Performance, guided by a product expert. Okay, let's get started. There's a lot that's new about the C63S e-Performance, but one thing that never changes is that confident stance. Combined with the assertive front fascia, there's absolutely no doubt that this is a car packing serious performance. Check out the AMG specific grille with those attention-grabbing chrome vertical struts. The front apron sports a jet-wing design, and huge air inlets clearly mean business. But there's also more subtle details, such as this AMG bonnet badge. For the first time, the C63 gets an intricately designed AMG crest that tells the story of the brand. For those who appreciate AMG's rich history, it's a special touch. On the bonnet, we see a new air outlet that's specific to this model. It's our first visual clue that there's something quite extraordinary about the C63S e-Performance. That's confirmed when we look under the bonnet. Gone is the big V8. In its place is the world's most powerful production four-cylinder engine. Yes, you heard that right. This is indeed a Mercedes-AMG C63 with 4 cylinders under the bonnet. But hear me out. This power plant is unlike any other 2-litre turbocharged 4 you have ever seen. It was developed by Mercedes-AMG, so you know it's going to punch well above its weight. But it's also just one component of a drivetrain that was inspired by cutting-edge hybrid technology derived from the Mercedes-AMG Petronas Formula One team. A direct result of that collaboration is that Mercedes-AMG developed an electric exhaust gas turbocharger that extracts 350 kilowatts of power and 545 newton meters of torque from this compact engine. That's history in the making, but it's also not the end of the story. Thanks to technological inspiration directly from the Formula One pit lane, the C63S e-Performance also has an electric drive unit over its rear axle, comprising an electric motor, a limited slip differential, and a 2-speed gearbox. So now we have another 150 kilowatts and 320 newton meters at the rear axle. With both of these power units acting in seamless harmony, there's a total of 500 kilowatts and 1,020 newton meters under your right foot. You heard that right. A C63 with over 1,000 newton meters of torque. 0 to 100 in just 3.4 seconds. Wow. That's phenomenally quick, but it's also highly intuitive to drive. Thanks to an AMG SpeedShift 9-speed auto, all-wheel 4MATIC Plus grip, and a wide selection of driving programs, from the street-friendly comfort setting all the way up to the hardcore race mode. At the racetrack, you can also try AMG's Drift mode, available on the C63 for the very first time. But there's also a milder side to the C63 that makes it even more livable than ever. With an AMG high-performance battery on board, there's energy storage for an indicative range of 15 kilometers of all-electric driving. So, by combining the efficiency of a Turbo 4 engine with bursts of all-electric driving for your daily running around, this C63 has the potential to be kinder to the environment, but also significantly lifts the bar for raw power and sporty performance. That has to be a win-win. The new C63 is fractionally longer and wider than the model it replaces. The 20-inch AMG cross-spoke forged wheels fill the pumped wheel arches, giving this car some serious attitude. And behind the gorgeous alloys is a standard high-performance composite braking system. This side vent and turbo e-performance badge help to differentiate the next-gen C63, as does a new side skirt design. It's worth taking a step back to appreciate that classic C-Class silhouette in its finest form yet. It's no wonder it's been a leader in the prestige segment for decades. And just to top it off, Mercedes-AMG has engineered 50-50 weight distribution from front to rear for ideal balance. With the C63 being based on the architecture of a sedan, you not only get 4 doors, but also a spacious back seat and a big, family-friendly boot. It's amazing to think that a sports car packing such mind-blowing performance can also be so normal. Another intriguing first for a C63 is standard rear axle steering. With the rear wheels able to articulate up to 2.5 degrees, you can corner with sharper response and improved control. The rear wheels can also countersteer in low-speed situations to decrease the turning circle and improve maneuverability in tight spaces, such as car parks. The C63S e-Performance gets standard AMG ride control suspension with 2-valve damping, so you've got exceptional comfort without compromising stability, even in dynamic situations. Behind this flap is the electrical connector that allows you to charge the onboard battery by plugging into a charging station, a Mercedes-Benz wall box, or even a 240-volt household plug. The C63S can also generate its own electricity if you choose one of the regenerative modes, channeling what would otherwise be wasted heat energy back into the battery pack. Stepping around to the rear, there's a new spoiler lip, plus a new rear apron design, including a wider diffuser blade and these trapezoidal dual tailpipe trims on each side. It's a combination of form and function that makes the C63 an unmistakable presence on the road. Now we get to my favourite place of all, behind the steering wheel. Immediately we can see a huge step forward from the previous C63. This absolutely stunning center display screen replaces almost all of the buttons and displays from the old center stack. It houses the latest generation of the MBUX infotainment system with what Mercedes-Benz calls zero-layer technology. This makes sure everything you commonly need is right where it's most handy. There's also dedicated displays for AMG functions, such as the Track Pace package. Or we can choose to watch the hybrid powertrain at work, sending combustion and electrical power where it's needed, or harvesting recuperated energy under braking. And the brilliant OLED display screen in front of me has a choice of themes, including a dedicated AMG mode that puts all of the C63's performance data right where you need it. Speaking of intuitive, this double-bar AMG performance steering wheel includes 2 rotary AMG controllers, so you can switch between the driving modes and functions on the fly. And how about the quality, fit and finish in here? The immaculate details. From the turbine-style air vents to these floating armrests, there's rich detail and pure class everywhere you look. These optional AMG performance front seats are designed to provide exceptional support for when you're really pressing on. Or there's the standard AMG sport seats. They're highly distinctive and designed for everyday comfort. All up, it amounts to what is probably the biggest step change in the history of the C63. But you're probably wondering right now, what is it like to drive? How does it feel? And how does it sound? Here's a few quick impressions. Listen to that. The world's most powerful 4-cylinder turbo, and you can really feel the 150 kilowatt kick from the battery, from the hybrid power system, the P3 hybrid power system. Combined, it gives this incredible sensation that just adds to the experience. It's so much more sure-footed than I'd even expected. I've been in powerful 4MATIC vehicles before, and the C63S, wow, it's just got an extraordinary balance of performance, braking stability, sure-footedness. It's so predictable. Man, it's fast though. Anything we need it to do, if we want the nose to tuck in, just ease on the throttle. If we want to drive the car off the corner, bleed on the gas. Everything you need it to do, C63 E-Performance, it just does it. This car absolutely deserves the crest. It absolutely deserves to sit right at the front of the AMG portfolio. Wow, what an addition to the world's fastest family. It's pretty clear that the C63 E-Performance is an absolute game changer for Mercedes-AMG. It still brings the thrills and definitely packs performance to match. But it also demonstrates a future where we can explore the limits of performance in a more sustainable way. So, just to recap, 500 kilowatts of power and 1,020 Newton meters of torque, 0 to 100 in 3.4 seconds. But also, with its hybrid system, including an electric motor mounted on the rear axle, you can take advantage of that glorious combination of combustion and electric energy. Or you can choose to run locally in fully electric mode and reduce your fuel use and emissions. That's a pretty amazing feat. And as we saw, this C63 definitely lives up to the legend when it comes to delivering performance and thrills. If you have further questions or need some additional information, be sure to book for a one-on-one consultation in our digital showroom. Here you can speak to a product expert and be guided through the C63 E-Performance in more detail. And the best part is, you can do this from anywhere. We hope you enjoyed this first look at the new Mercedes-AMG C63 E-Performance. Thanks very much for joining us.